Welcome back. I'm Peggy Sue Skipper, and today we're talking about health and wellness. And I have with me now Jonathan Lack, who is Executive Director of the Houston Wellness Association. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what is the association? Why do you exist, and what are you going to do?
Well, we exist because of an outgrowth of the success of the Mayor's Wellness Council that was established in January 2005. And we decided, a group of us, with the chairman of the Mayor's Wellness Council, Herb Lipsman, and others, that we wanted to institutionalize that effort and get the private sector more involved with community wellness in Houston. And that involved two aspects: developing a wellness sector, a private business sector that helps stimulate products and services for wellness purposes, and then employers involved, and just the general business community involved to help the other programs, the social programs involved around wellness.
Okay. It sounds to me like what we're looking at is trying to create a culture in the city of positive wellness, of proactive wellness.
Absolutely, and you know, a lot of people spend a lot of their free time or awake time working,
right.
And so if we can improve the wellness quality of our work environments, that'll have an impact on how people live at home, and vice versa. If the private sector that sells goods and services to consumers has a positive impact, then most likely those consumers will take those good habits to the workplace.
Okay. So as executive director, this is a job for you.
Yes.
Not a volunteer thing.
Right. It had been a volunteer for several years,
Okay.
and it's been such a passionate cause that I wanted to do it full time.
Great.
And there's a board consisting of corporate sponsors here in Houston, and we'll expand that board over time, and we'll expand our membership over time.
Okay. So who is on the board?
Well, we have the Houston Astros, Minute Maid, Cigna Healthcare. We have the Westside Tennis Center and Fitness. We have Halliburton, Texas Children's, Memorial Hermann, and Kelsey Siebel are on the board.
Wow.
Plus, we have the chairman of the Mayor's Wellness Council, Herb Lipsman, and three other gentlemen, Bill Bond, Henderson Smith, and John Izzard, who are private citizens who have been actively involved with the wellness movement here in Houston.
Okay. Well, it is just so important, and we talked about it in the first half of the show, but it's really getting to the point where, you know, each of us as individuals really need to kind of wake up and smell the coffee. And
sure. But it also helps, you know, peer pressure can be a positive aspect.
Absolutely.
And so if you're in a work environment that is supporting wellness, instead of somebody bringing donuts on Fridays, they bring fruit,
right.
That can help. If you have colleagues that are asking you, did you walk this morning, or how was your exercise this morning, that's going to be better than colleagues saying, we got to go outside and smoke a cigarette during our break.
Right.
So I think peer pressure is a positive thing when we're doing positive habits. And so to have an employer, whether they offer health insurance or not, still be pro-wellness is only going to help their bottom line,
right.
Because their employees will have better morale, healthier, miss fewer days of work. And consumers will just have a better quality of life by being active.
Mm-hmm. And Houston citizens, I mean, those are our
That's
citizens.
Right.
And
absolutely.
A healthier city is a happier city.
That's exactly right.
Et cetera. Okay, so who are you hoping will get involved with the Wellness Association, and how do they do that? How can people get involved and help?
Well, we hope that every company in town, large or small, startup or not-for-profit, will get involved and join to help promote wellness to their workforce, and then help, because of the membership dues, would help provide funding that would help programs that the Mayor's Wellness Council has established. For instance, childhood obesity is a big program. Worksite wellness is a big program. Public policy issues, health issues is another committee that the Mayor's Council has set up. So we hope that in Houston, which is known for its private sector being involved in civic affairs, we have a pretty good track record in this town that if you really want to get something done, you have to get the private sector involved, and a partnership and a collaboration, and that's what we want to do.
Great.
And so we're going to have, and we've already been doing this, monthly networking events where we encourage people to bring their business cards. And if you're in the wellness sector, or you want products and services in the wellness sector, and you're a benefits director or a human resource director at a company, we want you to come to these events, which are all posted on the on the website, and come network and learn about other products and services and let other people know what your needs are so that we can mix and match.
Okay. So really you're looking for memberships?
It's certainly memberships.
Okay. And are there corporate and individual memberships?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all the information's all posted on the website at different levels depending on what size of employee base that a company would have. And most practically speaking, it's not for the consumer to join. They can join, but it's more like the individual professional. If you're a dietitian, if you're a nutritionist, if you're a massage therapist, a physical therapist, and you're out on your own, this is a great venue to network with larger companies that are involved that use these types of services on a contract basis oftentimes. To network and to build a community of professionals in the wellness sector that know each other. And generally, in the past, the wellness sector has been very segmented. If you were in physical fitness, you didn't talk to people who were doing testing. If you were testing, you didn't talk to people who were in the food business. And what we're trying to do is be an aggregator, expand the tent, bring everybody together and say, I think you have synergies now. You see testing companies now that are in grocery stores. Well, you wouldn't have thought of that 5 or 10 years ago. And so the possibilities are endless when we get people together and let them brainstorm and come up with solutions on their own.
Sure. And that you could accomplish things like, I know some corporations these days have massage therapists that come in on certain days and offer that to their employees,
that's
either for a fee or they pay for the therapist.
That's right.
But that's a nice little perk, you know. So they might be able to find individuals to do that in the association.
That's right. What we did recently at a networking event is we did like 5-minute dating, and we had people meet. You had to talk to someone you didn't know, and then after 5 minutes we said, please move to somebody else that you didn't know, so that at the end of the event, everybody left knowing 6 people that they had never met before. And they may not have met, would not have met them otherwise. And hopefully, of the 5 or 6 people that an individual met, that 2 or 3 are going to actually be of value to them somewhere within the next year. And putting people together, with humans are the best resources any group can have, and leveraging that is one of our goals.
Okay. I like the concept. It feels really good. It does. I think
it's the right time for it.
Right. I believe that.
And it's a win-win for everybody. And one thing that we do know, regardless of the politics of healthcare, and when you have a $2 trillion sector, that's a lot of money. When you have a lot of money, there's a lot of politics. Regardless of what any of the presidential candidates, because now we're in election season, say who should pay for healthcare. The reality is that nobody can pay for that bill. So you can keep spinning the bottle of who pays for the bill. Right. But the best solution that I think we're going to be able to come up with, and it's not a perfect solution, but the best of the solutions is going to be prevention. And so it's much more cost effective. And that's the best way in the short term to reduce this ridiculous growing cost of healthcare, and having people take responsibility for their own health prior to being sick so that they don't get sick. Now, there are other aspects, but we're going to deal with the personal responsibility and the community responsibility of having all aspects, all sectors in the community pay more attention to this and make it a win for everybody.
Right. I think psychologically we did ourselves a lot of damage as a society when we went into HMO situations, because people sort of didn't see the value of what they were getting when they went to the doctor. They weren't pulling the money out of their pockets. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it became easier to do that, whether they really needed to go or not, or if they could do preventative things. It just became easier to, oh, well, I'm not feeling well, I'll go to the doctor, rather than what can I do to prevent myself from getting sick in the first place.
That you may be right.
That's just my personal
haven't
opinion.
Analyzed it from that perspective. I do think that what happens, though, when you have a longer life expectancy, people's expectations change, and we have a dual dynamic going on. We have an aging baby boomer population, which is still the largest group of folks, cohort of age group in the U.S., and then we have a youth group, a youth cohort, that is one of the unhealthiest youth cohorts that we've had in a long time, with childhood obesity and diabetes epidemics. So you have these two groups the grandparent generation and the grandchild generation that are both focusing, one because of society not taking care of the youth, and the other because they're aging. And whereas maybe in the 70s the baby boomers were more into vanity, now it's about life and death.
Right.
And so people will pay more attention if they want to live longer and be with their grandkids and have a quality of life. And so with the two barbells, I think we're getting society to pay more attention.
I think
to
so
it.
too. And it's not just about living longer, it's about quality of that
Absolutely.
life.
Absolutely.
No good to live till you're 100 if you're bedridden and
That's right.
can't think. I mean,
That's right.
So I like the proactive wellness aspect. What did you do before you were involved with the association?
I'm an entrepreneur, so I've done a bunch of different startup projects and management consultant, and so I help do marketing and strategic planning.
Okay.
And wellness has been a big passion of mine.
So you're in good position to get the word out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
great. That's great. What would you like to see 5 years down the road?
I think if you think of an association in a new sector, it's a tool. And I'd like to see the association have thousands of members, an organization that one could see 5 years or 10 years or 20 years past it and say if it's managed well, it will still be here, to have a positive impact on making wellness a daily part of our personal life and our professional life. And so that it's integrated. It's not just for the few, it's not just for the affluent, it's for everybody across the board, no matter what your strata, income strata or social group that you're involved with. That some aspect of wellness is part of our daily life that not just the Jack-O-Lanes of the world are promoting, that everybody's promoting.
Right.
The government's promoting it, the religious community is promoting it, the private sector is promoting it, the not-for-profits, the schools.
And individuals.
And that it's an integrated part of our lives. Now, we may not get there in 5 years, but if the association can help start or catalyze a movement that's already started, but be a resource so that the movement in Houston can grow faster, and then Houston can be a model for it. We are the fourth largest city in the country. We have one of the most diverse populations in the country, which Stephen Kleinberg, the sociologist from Rice University, says the rest of the country is going to look like in 30 years. Well, if we can set a model here and make progress here, then we've been a leader for other cities that they can leverage what we've learned when they have the same types of issues.
Great. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming and sharing.
Appreciate it.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
There you go, Houston. Exciting stuff. So go and check out the website and get involved. I really like this. I'm Peggy Sue Skipper, and we'll see you next time.